The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is brought to you by Clinica Sierra Vista.
Welcome back to the 17 News at Sunrise podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Good morning to you here at 5 a.m. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
We begin this morning with a heartbreaking story out of Merced. A baby boy was shot and killed yesterday while sitting in his stroller. Catherine Phillips from our sister station reports from where the shooting happened.
It's only been a few hours since the shooting happened, but neighbors have already started making a memorial for the baby. It's right here on the corner of Q and West 12th Street, and it's where we caught up with the baby's mother. She was very shaken up. She came here to look at the memorial, and she told us that her son's name was Darius, and he was only 9 months old.
We're trying to piece this together to figure out, what happened with this tragedy.
Merced police officers carry away a stroller as part of Wednesday's homicide investigation. Lieutenant Joy Perez says a baby was shot around 12:30 in the afternoon. Initially, they believed the baby, now identified as Darius King Grigsby, was 7 months old. They've released this picture of the child.
Nobody obviously wants to kill a 7-month-old baby, but obviously there was some type of motive behind it. We're trying to figure that out.
Perez says dispatchers got a call from a woman telling 911 her baby had been shot. He adds the woman, along with her boyfriend, were walking down Q Street with baby Darius in a stroller. He says at least one shot was fired from a car, not hitting anyone but the infant.
The mother, she was frantic. She picked up the child and ran to the McDonald's looking for help, and that's when the officers responded.
Perez says baby Darius died at the hospital, and now the search for the suspect begins. We spoke off camera with baby Darius's mother as she stopped to look at the growing memorial. While fighting back tears, she told us about her son and how she's devastated. Neighbor Edith Gonzalez says she heard the shooting happen. She's heartbroken, but now concerned about safety in the neighborhood.
But the baby had no fault in it, so it's tough.
At this time, Merced police have not released any information about a suspect in this case or what kind of car the suspect might have been driving.
Catherine Phillips reporting. According to one of his court-appointed attorneys, convicted murderer Jamie Osuna is close to retaining private counsel to represent him in the torture slaying of his prison cellmate. Osuna is attempting to hire Fresno-based lawyer Miles A. Harris, who told the court they're finalizing representation. Given the possibility of a change of counsel, a Kings County judge set a hearing date for December 14th to see if Harris will in fact be Osuna's attorney going forward. Osuna is accused of decapitating and dismembering his Corcoran State Prison cellmate, 44-year-old Luis Romero, in 2019. At the time of Romero's death, Osuna was serving life without parole for torturing and killing Yvette Pena of Bakersfield.
6 people are facing drug-related and firearms charges following a narcotics investigation by Bakersfield police. Officers executed a search warrant at a home on Springfield Avenue near Fairview Road and South H Street on Monday. Officers found 2.5 pounds of powder fentanyl, 80,000 fentanyl pills, 1,000 Xanax pills, 1.5 pounds of marijuana, $20,000, and 4 loaded illegal guns. Police arrested 6 people, all ranging in age from 18 to 22 years old.
First, before we get to Christmas, we have to talk about Veterans Day. It's tomorrow, and this week we're honoring our heroes and thanking them for their service to our country.
And one of the biggest events of the day, Bakersfield's annual Veterans Day Parade. It's the 103rd Veterans Day Parade, by the way. The parade is happening Friday at 10 a.m., starting right outside our studios here at 21st and L Streets. The parade will head west on 21st, turning south on G Street, then back east on 20th Street. And 17's Jim Scott is the master of ceremonies this year. And the Grand Marshal of the parade is World War II veteran Victor Killingsworth. And Friday, tomorrow, is his 102nd birthday. It is incredible.
Almost as old as our parade.
Yeah.
That's incredible. We'll start the day off with American Legion Post 26 because they're hosting breakfast and lunch free for veterans tomorrow. Breakfast is 6:30 to 9. Of course, before the parade, there will be eggs, bacon, sausage, all the goodies. Organizers will also then do lunch for the veterans after the parade. That's starting at 2 p.m. Burgers and tri-tip sandwiches. Again, this is free for veterans, $8 for breakfast. If you're not a veteran, $10 for lunch. Please come down anyway and enjoy eating with them and thanking them. And there will be some more awards presented at 2 p.m. at the Post.
Yeah, and today is the last day to create a personalized thank you card for a local vet. Our libraries are hosting its annual Thank a Veteran Art Card project at all of its 22 locations until today. So you can stop by any of the branches during regular business hours to write a letter, color a picture, or craft a card to express how much you appreciate all of our vets and all of their sacrifices. The library will provide all the necessary supplies. All you have to do is just show up. And then at the end of the project, the library will distribute the thank you cards to all of our local vets.
As we approach Veterans Day, some of our military men and women are preparing for their next careers in the classroom.
Yeah, Courtney Kuby reports.
After more than 2 decades in the Navy, John Altman still wanted to serve.
Yeah, it is.
He swapped his years at sea for days in the classroom.
I'm on the front lines of developing America's #1 natural resource. What is that? I teach high school.
John discovered a program called Troops to Teachers, supporting men and women leaving the military to become educators, providing money, counseling, and job referrals with a focus on science, math, and special education in low-income communities.
What is it that you hope that you instill upon your students?
You got to work hard if you want something. You can't Google your way through life.
Life lessons his students at Paradise Valley High School take to heart.
He's definitely taught me to get stuff done on time and not put it off.
People from the military could basically go and do anything, and he chose to come be a teacher.
With a need for teachers,
the teacher shortage that you hear about is real. I'm in the trenches trying to find teachers.
Programs like Troops to Teachers are more critical than ever.
I'm glad I found the program. I think it's important for me to be an example, just as when I wore the uniform.
For Altman, a new battle rhythm with the same mission.
I think that's my duty assignment. Now, I believe in that. Where's my fours? These youngsters are our tomorrow. I really love my Navy, and I really love teaching.
Courtney Kuby, NBC News, Paradise Valley, Arizona.
And if you're on the edge of your seat waiting for the results of certain down ballot races, patience is key. You're not going to get any satisfaction for several days. And even predicting which direction things may go based on what's left to count is fraught is danger. Why? We'll let 17's Robert Price explain.
The votes are in from Election Day precincts, and they're all counted. But we are a long, long way away from final results.
And it's pretty much impossible at this point to make any intelligent predictions on where things might go based on what we know about the uncounted votes. Network analysts are able to look at maps and speculate on how various races might change based on which specific precincts in a given county or state remain uncounted. That's not really possible in Kern County, though, because all of the Election Day poll precincts are in and have been counted, and we saw that tabulation late on election night. We're not waiting for the conservative Rosedale vote to come in, for example, or the liberal Delano vote, because those live in-person ballots and the mail-in ballots cast from those areas of the county weeks ago have already been logged on the big board. All that's left to tabulate are the mail-in ballots received Monday and Tuesday, Election Day. How many votes is that? Election officials don't know yet and won't know with anything approaching certainty until they provide the Secretary of State, as required, with an estimate. But the rough estimate, subject to change, could be as many as 100,000 votes. So that race you're fretting about, the one separating your candidate or your issue from victory by a handful of votes, forget about it. Perhaps these late mailed ballots are from independently minded voters who wanted as much information as possible leading up to the drop dead deadline. Voters who aren't the type to just mark all the R's or mark all the D's. Perhaps they're procrastinators. Whatever they are, there are tens upon tens of thousands of them. Assessor Recorder County Clerk Mary Bedard says it really comes down to the timing.
You know, it's really more just a function of when people decide to turn in their ballots. And again, so many people, we did have some people obviously turning them in early. You know, the majority always comes in on Election Day.
They're coming from all over the county. Yeah. So you can't state precinct 321 is yet to be counted.
Right.
Amy Espinoza is the Kern County Assessor Recorder County Clerk-elect, having just won a nail-biter of an election herself in June. She knows all about the false promise of an election night lead.
Even in my race for the primary, I had people calling me and texting me, you know, as soon as the first results were posted. Congratulations, congratulations. And I'm like, thanks, but there's still a whole load of ballots that still need to be counted.
And what started as a strong, encouraging election night lead dwindled to a 1-point victory. Her advice to candidates, whether they're ahead or behind at this stage, Follow her lead and don't get too excited either way.
The votes in several Kern County races are very close. In one case, a single vote. What does that mean? At this point, not a whole lot. At Kern County Election Headquarters, Robert Price, 17 News.
It appears voters in unincorporated Kern County are saying yes to Measure K, a local ballot measure that would enact a 1-cent sales tax increase. Let's take a look at the numbers. And so far, Measure K is leading with yes votes, 51% of the vote. So if passed, Measure K is expected to bring in about $50 million in extra revenue, and the state can't touch it. Sheriff Donna Youngblood says this measure is crucial in sustaining public safety. The sheriff will join us in studio this morning at 6:30 to talk about what this money will mean for his department and those living in unincorporated Kern.
But then again, you just heard Bob's story. A lot of votes still left to be counted. A political dynasty is emerging in Kern County with the latest election results. The Scrivener family. Zach Scrivener, now serving his 4th term on the Kern County Board of Supervisors, is only one member of the family gaining influence in the Central Valley's political landscape. His wife, his mother, and his chief of staff all currently lead in multiple school board races held in Tuesday's election. Christina Scrivener, the supervisor's wife, is running for the Kern Community College District's Board of Trustees Area 2, where she is leading with 57% of the vote this morning. Meantime, Kathy Scrivener, the supervisor's mother, is running for the Kern High School District Board Area 4. She is one of 4 candidates for the seat and leads with more than 49% of the vote. John Antinaros, the supervisor's chief of staff for almost a decade, is running for the Kern Community College District's Trustee Area 3, where he is ahead with a slight lead over incumbent Non Gomez Heitzberg. Counting the supervisor and his aunt, District Attorney Cynthia Zimmer, 5 people, either named Scrivener or close to the family, will cement their influence in the county if they win their respective races.
The 17 News at Sunrise podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to kget.com.